Good morning to everybody. I'm very happy to be with you today at this panel to discuss with you how we can bring research to the market, because research and its results matters for the society, matters for the economy, matters for the transition. I'm very pleased to be today at this panel with very distinguished speakers that I would like first of all to introduce. Karina Angelieva, Deputy Minister of Education and Science. Hi Karina, very happy to have you with us also in this panel. We have Marian Piecza, the Deputy Minister of EU Funds and the Ministry for Industry and Trade in Czech Republic. Unfortunately, I don't see that we have a problem with connection with the Deputy Minister. I hope we'll manage to reconnect quickly. Dick Beckers, the Director of Infrastructures and Innovation Executive Agency. Hi Dirk, we have been working together for many years on how to capitalize on the results of our projects. Very happy to have you with us today. Michael Saller, the Senior Expert in European Investment Bank. Hello, Michael. I hope you can hear us. And Jana Valkova, Project Manager from Joint Secretariat of the Indirect Central Europe, with whom we did a very interesting pilot, and we would like to have your experience as well. We have been working for many years in research and innovation, and with a lot and plenty of successful research results. We have done our interim evaluation, in particular under Horizon 2020 program, and one of the main elements that we have realized is that it is not always evident how we exploit the results. It's not always evident how we can bring the good results that we develop through the Research and Innovation Framework program to the regions, to the local development, to the markets. So what we can do more? How we can demonstrate more that research and innovation matters for the society, that research and innovation results can be used and exploited in the best possible way and provide solutions at European, local level, at regional and national level. It is part of the discussions that we have over the last months and years on synergies, because synergies is not only in the programming level, is not only at the policy level, is not only at the funding level. Synergies concerns also at the level of results. How is possible through the results of the research and innovation program to make and to enable that those results will be deployed under another program, like the Interreg program or Connecting Europe Facility program or other programs that then could bring those results to the market, bring those results to the society. So this is the aim of our discussion today. We know from our experience that sequential synergies, it's not easy. And we would like to share with you, but also with all those that are participating in this session from abroad, our experiences, our ideas, and recommendations on how we will be able to improve these sequential synergies in the future. There are some questions that they are going to be posted for those that are following our session abroad. So the first question that you can vote is, do you think that sequential synergies can help research ideas to reach the market? So you have 45 seconds to reply to this question. And wow, the replies are changing. So I see that 57% says, 50% says very much, and 33%, is changing all the time. So at the end, it's really balanced. So we have 36% much, 33%, I cannot reply to this question. So we have to wait because people, they are entering all the time in the panel. So I suggest that we wait a little bit and we switch directly now to the questions to the members of the panel. So Karina, the first question is for you. Could you tell us in a few words about how you facilitate technology transfer and uptake of framework program funding results at national level? What are the difficulties encountered and how do you tackle them?
Thank you, Anna. Thank you also for the great introduction. You touch upon very important topics, and I hope with this great panel with the main actors from EIB and
The
Can you
pole
hear me?
has to stay all the time there. Yes, very well, very well. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, difficult question because we are still tackling with the technology transfer in Bulgaria. It's not easy, but several years ago, we started this discussion also in Bulgaria, but also here on European level with you and with your colleagues. And, I was very frustrated that we are trying to find solutions for the tech transfer under the smart specialization strategies on national level. And meantime, we are fostering and we are working on diffusing excellence on European level. So my opinion is very strong that we should not build parallel roads, but basically we should explore a way how to diffuse and basically to expand, but also to reach results that we have achieved under the framework program. Because at the end of the day, we have a great results, but we are lacking, and of course, very often we are criticized, also politicians, but also the Commission, but also program managers, that we lack to capitalize or to go to market. So the question has different answers, but one of the most important for me is how we can ameliorate this acceleration of results. And basically, I think one of the smartest and fastest way nowadays is to use the digitalization achievements we have and the tools linked to data. So in Bulgaria, we start with building the open science cloud, which also give a quick and easy access to research results next to data sets and to publications, of course. And I believe we should also explore this type of tools to use research results on the FP program, also from the point of view of the regions, because overlap is good thing. I'm not saying overlapping is not good, because each region, its specific users needs maybe the same results sometimes, or to foster the same research activity. But we need basically results that disrupt something, achieve something, to reach groups of economic stakeholders or entrepreneurs that are looking for this, but don't know about their existence. So data for me is the key. But data can't be used without, special tools or services. And that is where we should join efforts together. It's not only, of course, only up to Horizon Europe. It's exactly also to national programs, structural funds, or with Interreg. Many times we had this conversation, because entrepreneurs, region actors, sometimes they are not aware how they can use these results and data. Basically, we have to exactly invest in this tech transfer. So on national level, basically we invest in the fund of the funds. We are doing really now major programming concerning technology transfer, but I must say that we need just to go or to imagine the tech transfer as a spillover effect, and in different sizes, not on national level or on a big level to foster unicorns. We should also believe the tech transfer could sometimes serve really a local community of people, or also concerning social innovation. So as nowadays we are tackling with the Green Deal and the COVID and health systems, I believe there is a great opportunity there. And the second, of course, apart of the tools and data, we should invest a bit in knowledge and in services. Basically, we should train entrepreneurs and very often some small and medium enterprises, how they can find, treat, trust and understand research results. I think this is one of the problems, and this is really a favorite topic we fostered in 2018 with the Council conclusions on knowledge acceleration. Many things have been done, but to be honest, I think we are just in the beginning of exploring concrete tools. Because political issues, yes, talks, as you said, a lot on programming level, but now we should explore practical tools, and maybe we should pilot, basically, through national funds, structural funds, or other programming. We should pilot maybe several programs that we can explore how this can work, especially when we talk about energy and Green Deal, because I think there is a lot of achievements, and it's not good to stay in the drawer. So I think this is for the moment. I also am very intrigued to listen to the other speakers and then to give my feedback.
Thank you very much, Karina. And I see now that we closed the poll of the first question, and the result shows that almost 45% of participants believe that. Sorry, it's even more. Okay, now I can see. It is 70% of participants believe that promoting sequential synergies will bring results to the market. So indeed, we have to do more. We have started to do a lot of activities, and I hope also in the context of the new European research area, we will take the possibility to boost knowledge, to promote knowledge, and to promote also the bring value to the results of the research and innovation, either the research and innovation results coming from the framework program or also the research and innovation results coming at national level and regional level activities. So thank you very much. I see that we don't have yet a connection with Marianne. Therefore, I will move to Jana. Jana, now the question is for you, and you have the practical experience. So could you please tell us how the exploitation of these results can be equally important at regional level, and what are the lessons learned from the capitalization call that you launched back in 2019? What is the added value for EU regions?
Thank you, Anna, for the opportunity to bring the regional perspective in this discussion. And indeed, Karina has also mentioned the role of Interreg that can be key in the process of bringing research results into regions. Interreg Central Europe is an ETC program that funds projects in 76 regions at the heart of Europe. And we have always encouraged our projects to create synergies with other initiatives. However, we also wanted to support our regions in having better access to applicable results of excellent research and to close the existing gap. So in reaction to this, the program member states decided to open a pilot call focused on coordination and exploitation of results from EU centrally managed programs, notably Horizon and FP7, but also other funding schemes such as LIFE, COSME, Erasmus, etc., and results from our Interreg Central Europe project. This pilot has been developed in close coordination with the GRTD, Common Data and Knowledge Management Service. And the minimum requirement for this pilot call was to exploit results at least from 2 Interreg CE projects and from 1 project from Horizon or other centrally managed funding scheme. We also, before we opened the call, we launched a survey with our beneficiaries. And this revealed that a majority of our beneficiaries work for organizations that are not involved in any Horizon or FP7 research project. Also, if they are actually working for such organizations that have both Interreg and Horizon projects, the level of uptake of the research results is almost negligible. And in addition to all this, we also learned from this survey that the awareness about relevant Horizon and FP7 research results was rather low among our stakeholders in the regions. So for this pilot call, we realized that a key success factor would be to provide a lot of support and to have a wide range of support measures. So we organized matchmaking events, we had consultations, we had permanent help desk at national contact points and digital trainings. And also together with the GRTD, we developed a matchmaking tool. Let's say generation 0, not even version 1. It was really a preliminary effort, which is now further being developed by the GRTD. And the tool actually aimed to help the applicants to find suitable partners that work on the same topics within Horizon and FP7 projects. And the results of the call were really very good. We were glad to see so many interesting applications that we received. The proposals were ambitious and most of them actually went beyond the set minimum requirement for exploitation. And they were all these applications building on 100 projects funded by Interreg, Horizon, and directly managed EU instruments. So you can see that with such a small pilot call, for which we had very small financial allocation, you can actually mobilize a lot of access and bring together interesting bunch of results from already funded projects. We also asked our beneficiaries or the applicants of call for their feedback, and what we learned from it, that it was really perceived positively, and it helped them to increase their awareness and knowledge about available results, which per se is a positive element. And it also helped them significantly to create new contacts and linkages with actors from Horizon and FP7 projects. However, what we also learned is that if this call didn't have such specific focus, many of the applicants wouldn't have made the effort in exploitation and creation of synergies all that much. So we think that support is important, but also like giving opportunities through this kind of calls that would really foster synergies is important for the actors, for them to understand how they can benefit from such approach.
Thank you very much, Jana. And I would like to highlight what you said, that we need to have tools of circulation of information, bringing the different communities together in order to be able to reinforce these sequential synergies. And that brings me to the second poll that we have posted for voting by the participants. In your opinion, what would be the best source of information to look for opportunities for synergies with other EU programs? And I see that 53% of the responses are related to the funding and enter portal, including the Horizon Results platform. And we have 20%, so 53% on the platform and 20% for national contact points. I see that we don't have Marian yet connected in our panel. Therefore, I will move to the next question to Dirk. Dirk, INEA has been very active under the current financial period to create synergies, in particular between the Horizon 2020 program and Connecting Europe facility. Could you tell us now how you see synergies continue under the next financial period between the different programs that INEA is going to manage? And how important is for you to foster synergies, even through the launching of the new programs? I don't think we can hear you, Dirk. I don't know whether you are muted, maybe.
You're right, Anna.
Yes.
I was muted, sorry for that. So first, let me thank you for having invited me for this panel. I think synergies is a very important topic, and I mean to have results from research projects is, as you know, something that I do appreciate a lot and what I think is very important. So I think it's appreciated that you invited me. And now on synergies, maybe given the limited time, I will try to be as short as possible. But nevertheless, I want first to say that synergies are currently happening. We have just one example. I don't know whether we show the slide or whether it's possible, but I prepared a short slide. Maybe don't have the time for it, but there are two research projects which are called IEOLIX and CELIS that developed and built new collaborative information sharing systems, which were then subsequently tested by the CEF Phoenix project. So really, there was a big interaction, and by having the input from these two research projects, the Phoenix project was able to demonstrate further and to implement the results of this project. So really, the three projects together, they helped the industrial players to share transport information, because it was a project on how to improve the transport organization. And the collaboration was improved through smart IT platforms, which led them to more efficient and sustainable transport. So like this, we have several examples of how the cooperation is done, and how we have research projects that are being implemented by using other projects, by other programs, and in our case, by the CEF program in particular. Now, my second message is that, and that's to tell you, okay, synergies definitely are important, and more synergies will happen in future. We will, as you know, or maybe not everyone knows, but for the future, INEA has been where we will be in the lead for several other programs like the Innovation Fund. We will have quite an important part on Horizon Europe and so. My idea is definitely even further foster the synergies between the different programs. And that we will be managing and to make sure that there is quite a lot of synergies, but in particular as well that the outcome of the research project will be used in developing and getting closer to the market by using other programs. And in that respect, I would like to highlight in particular the Innovation Fund, which is a new program as well that we will be managing and which will allow projects that come out of research to get closer to the market and to be implemented there. So, I mean, it's the first call was launched already. There's quite with a deadline of the 29th of October, so I can only invite potential interested people who have outcome of research project to see whether this, or not to check on our website, whether you cannot use this program to go to the market and to go for the deployment of your project. So I mentioned this one in particular because I do think it's an important one. But of course, we will strive to continue further synergies between the different programs. And in this respect, I would like to say that all of those who are interested to see a bit what we've been doing on synergies or how you can get to better synergies between programs, I can only invite you to our website where we have a lot of information on it. And on top of that, we have recently published a new brochure on synergies amongst projects that you can find on our website. And I'm sure it will lead to quite some inspiration on how you can, projects that come out of Horizon 2020 or in future Horizon Europe, how they can use the means that we have available to further go to look for synergies and to go for deployment.
Thank you very much, Dirk, and thank you very much. And the role of INEA in this respect in the future would be particularly important. INEA, it will be the climate agency, I will call it the Green Deal agency. So your work on bringing the synergies between the different programs and uptaking the results of Horizon Europe, it will be extremely, extremely important. I'm very happy because finally we managed to connect with the Deputy Minister of EU Funds at the Ministry of Industry and Trade in Czech Republic, Marian Piesza. Marian, thank you for being with us today. Can you hear us well?
I hear you very well.
And we hear you very, very well. Thank you. So I would like to ask you another question. From your experience, could you give us some tips of a successful capitalization process of research results? What is the key ingredient allowing for better interconnection among universities, industry, and public sector?
I would say the best key ingredient is the competition. I think good ideas will always find a way to the market, but we need the right infrastructure, we need the right ecosystem. And I think in Europe we need to promote the competition even between the innovation centers. Because, for example, in Czech, I see that some of the innovation centers, they would like to have their own region and take care of it. And I don't think so that's a good idea in a way that they are lacking a competition. So just imagining how it would be in Europe if we will have one airline company to serve the whole European continent. Without the competition in innovation centers, we wouldn't get the right results on this level, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marian. That brings me to the next speaker, Michael. You have a lot of experience through Jaspers in supporting research projects. Do you see that there is a need for technical assistance during the preparation phase of a project? And do you think that this kind of support could eventually help projects reach the market more easily once they have the results?
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Anna, and good morning, everybody. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation and for the question. So, I mean, technical assistance is a very wide topic, and we have already seen the other speakers touch on different aspects of technical assistance. I can give you my input or my feedback on the perspective of the work we are doing with with the publicly driven research projects that have a part financing, or sometimes a very important part of financing from different types of EU funds. Specifically, in the line of work I'm doing in Jaspers, it's a joint initiative between the European Investment Bank and the Commission. And since 2007, we have been involved in different types of technical assistance to encourage EU members to build better projects and to actually be able to better draw from preliminary structural funds, but also other funds available. So to answer your questions, yes, we definitely see that there is a need for technical assistance in order to better reach market. So basically, a well-prepared project is, in our opinion, my opinion in this case, a prerequisite for a successful implementation and a smoother transition to market. So, as I said, technical assistance can be a very wide concept, right? So in this sense, if I'm more referring to two aspects, the first one is the preparation phase for technical assistance. We have very, very smart researchers, but by the end of the day, success is not only built on a good research idea. Researchers are good at what they're doing, but sometimes there's a lack of bringing it to the market in the sense of preparing a good feasibility study and a good analysis. So it should cover not only the research perspectives, but also key success factors for any project, which is a demand analysis, option analysis. Is this really needed? And yes, of course, costings realistic, and the financial economic analysis. And is this what the market really wants? So you have different aspects here. This might or might not be more acceptable to applicable research, but in one form or shape to all kinds of research that eventually target the market. So if you do spend more upstream work on building and taking more assistance, help to build a good case study, a good project feasibility study, you will have, in our experience, again, a more speedily implemented and operational projects. The second aspect of technical assistance is sort of a facilitator, which act as well, quite often, a facilitator to bridge a gap between upstream and downstream activities. In Europe, the EU has a lot of very nice, powerful policies and policy objectives that are there to help researchers and to build research projects. But what we have seen that on the ideas are fine, policies are fine, but on the downstream side, again, authorities and researchers do not always understand how to translate and use the policies and objectives into good projects. So somebody mentioned ecosystem. This is what is lacking: a good ecosystem which involves policymakers and researchers and public authorities. This will help also to build good cases to draw from all these funds that actually are available: structural funds, CEF, Just Transition funds, Horizon 2020. So policy support is there, but there is, as I'm repeating it, a good case for building a nice ecosystem, right? The tie to the market is again something that in a good assistance function should be a bit earlier. There is a need to be have more interaction between the market, what the market actually wants, and involve them in financing, in project ideas already early up in the chain, in the proper project preparation phase. There has been a problem which you have seen traditionally when state aid comes into play, where there is an interest from the market, they want to co-finance project, and then state aid sometimes hamper it. But fine, this is something which seems to be more and more addressed, so we see that this is something that can be functional, and it could be leading to more successful projects as well. So to wrap up, yes, there is a need for technical assistance in my line of work in project preparation, and as facilitator more to bring together the food chain between policymakers and researchers and the market. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And I would like to point out one issue that you raised is the ecosystem. And before I continue with the other questions, I'm wondering maybe Karina and Marianne could already respond a little bit to this idea or the role of the ecosystems, where you bring policymakers, researchers, economic actors together and trying to see how you can best capitalize and bring to the market the research of the results. Karina, do you have any experience or any work that you have done in this area in Bulgaria, for example?
Yes, thank you, Anna. The colleague said very important thing. We experiment a lot, but one ecosystem takes a lot of time. So I must say that the last 10 years, we really did a lot. But now we're in a very crucial point, basically to go to more incremental innovations, to more disruptive innovations. And we're in a very crucial point of the synergies, because basically so far we were directing the structural funds in infrastructure and capacity building, of course. And now the ideal ecosystem for me will be to have all the possible instruments fostering excellence and innovation. So the best, I think, recipe now we need is, listening to all the colleagues today, is really competition. This is what we're experimenting in Bulgaria. It's very difficult to increase the competitive basic funding, opposite institutional, to foster competition and also to open it outside the country. This is the ingredient. But apart from the competition, there are other important things when we are talking about synergy and uptake of research results to market, and this is really to give also assistance, not only to new actors, as I said, but also to many SMEs, to many regional actors, because at the end of the day, we have the procurement, and we are procuring a lot. And this is also very important, that we give assistance to all these entrepreneurs that want to innovate, but instead to go into timely consuming and long procedures in procurement, we can foster using already existing research results and then developing from them innovation action. And this is here where we are talking not about the money. This is the fear. Not to let the member states use the structural funds to, fund the same actions. They can be funded under another program. No, we can very easily already talk about different injections, to use the different programming, but the goal to be one. This will be really perfect. So competition, yes, absolutely technical assistance. And concerning the ecosystem, it's extremely important what the colleague from INEA said. And this, I think, will help a lot when we are building the ecosystem, to be in a close cooperation with the colleagues, with the European institutions. Innovation Fund and INEA, we also have Innovation Fund. They should collaborate, they should talk together, but not only themselves, of course, direct, member states, the Commission. We should foster really transnational exchange of ideas and even mirroring, because we are now entering a new stage of ecosystem, and it's a transnational ecosystem. So many more things to be done, which is good that we have a lot of work.
Thank you very much, Karina. And I assume you are following all the discussions that are currently on synergies in the preparation of Horizon Europe, in the preparation of the new regulation for the CPR, for the structural funds. I hope that the orientations that in this discussion will help us to promote the sequential synergies and the synergies also from structural funds. Marian, I have the similar question with you. You have a lot of experience with ecosystems. I have been very happy to visit one of your ecosystems. So how important is for you? How important is for promote the market uptake?
How important is to promote the market uptake? It's crucial to get the ideas into the to get the programs to our entrepreneurs. And I'm going back to what was mentioned earlier about the synergies. I think they are very important, but theoretically, I'm not really sure they work in Czech Republic, because practically researchers are binded by the rules if you are talking about the synergies. So I would rather keep them open. And sequential synergies in this case are not a very good idea for our ecosystem, because they pretty much determine the whole project from the beginning. For example, I could say that we had experience with the Clean Sky undertaking, and it wasn't so successful because, in a way, our SMEs thought that it's too narrow. Simply, it was designed as a thing to put a supply chain to a big airplane producers, and that's not about the marketing at all. Is to come up with the right products again, and if there are right products, support products on the level of Horizon. I think that the words to our researchers, the Czech Republic is small, so the word can spread and they can all participate. But right now, I a little bit think that it's too determined to be working. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And in the meantime, we have published the third question for the participants to this session. In your opinion, what are the most pertinent thematic areas in which to pursue synergies? And there were different possibilities: climate and transport, health, ICT innovation, research infrastructure, agriculture, and security. And not surprisingly, the area where most of the participants voted, by 81%, is the climate, energy, and transport. So I think, Dirk, you will have a lot of work to do in the next period. Second, it comes health. I think now is the moment to switch to the questions from the audience. We have 8 minutes left in our session. I was wondering whether there are any questions that are coming through the electronic chat. Give me a second, because there is a small technical problem. Yes, so I start with the first question, which is more, I think, for Karina and Maria. How to best connect cohesion policy funding bodies and research representatives in member states' regions? Karina.
I mean, it's a very difficult question. How to best connect to the politicians, to the policy documents. This is the basics. Many researchers and entrepreneurs are, annoyed with all this, but the strategic process behind is extremely important. This is what we are doing now, to connect the research infrastructure roadmap with the smart specialization strategy. Although, of course, I believe that we also should be a little bit more open-minded on the smart specialization strategy, because not necessarily Horizon Europe always address our smart specialization strategy. It's very difficult. But basically, to match the strategic process of the programming of the strategy of the country and the capacity that the country has in Horizon with the smart specialization strategy. And secondly, of course, in practical terms, we already are doing it to the seal of excellence. But this is not enough. Much more efforts are necessary. The both administrations to understand what's happening. The NCPs to understand national funding and structure funds, and the managing authorities to understand the other system. There is a lot of efforts in this direction, but we are forgetting that very often people change. So these efforts should be continuous to understand and to raise awareness among the synergy opportunities.
That brings me to the discussion we had yesterday also, Karina, on the outreach event. So how will it be possible to reinforce outreach to the member states at local level, so that the managing authorities and the research communities, they are coming together? It was your suggestion, so how we can do it together. And from the European Commission side, we are ready to support any efforts that you want to initiate at national level. Marian, from your side, would you like to have a quick reply to this question?
Well, I agree fully with my Bulgarian colleague, but it's a job of the strategies like the smart specification strategy. But on the practical level, the European funds are not so much focused on synergies. We still have a very wide range of supports, and with this, it is much easier for the Czech entrepreneurs to go for structural funds than to go for the European programs on the level of Horizon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know whether Jana or Michael would like also to react in this question, being in the field and having to deal with both sides. Michael, maybe from your experience from Jaspers?
I think that the two previous speakers have basically given good replies to the questions. I think, again, to tie back to what everybody has said, there has to be, we use the word ecosystem a lot. So there has to be closer ties and more education, if you want to, on how to well, cannibalize is not the right word, but to use the available funds, if we're talking about publicly driven projects, and involve the market as well. That would be my take on this.
Thank you very much. There is another question that I will try to take on board. Will ERDF support ERA goals and the strengthening of regional research capacities besides innovation? Recent experiences show it is not supported anymore. Karina, I'm turning back to you because, of course, whatever is priority in ERDF should come through the programs that the member states they are deciding. So, would you plan to support research capacities besides innovation through ERDF? Are you planning to have some ideas in this direction in your programs for structural funds?
I'm Deputy Minister of Research and Education, so this is my main goal, and it's a very difficult battle. But at the end of the day, you know what, we also will have a national homework, and the homework is, of course, to increase the investments on national level. But still, I believe that the appropriate mix is not to fund only research capacity through national funding, only innovation to structural funds, only teaching or training to Erasmus. No, the best is the mixture, because, of course, then the balancing on national level is very difficult. But we are striving a lot, and we are working in a very close collaboration now with the ministries to invest also in research capacities through the Research and Resilience Fund, to the Recovery and Resilience Fund, sorry. So it's on the agenda, because I said it yesterday, I'm sorry to repeat it constantly, but at the end of the day, it's also about the people and the skills. And if we don't have the normal work conditions and to attract people to come back or to keep them, it's impossible, because the competition for talents now also in Europe, it's huge.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There's only 1 minute left, 1 minute left or 2 minutes left. So I would like to close this session by asking all of you to give me one motto. What is for you, if you want to give a branding or with one word, what is for you a sequential synergies? What is for you bringing results from the research to the market? Jana, what is for you? What it comes in your mind?
Well, for me, I think it's still work ahead of us at the level of programs to really foster creation of synergies and to really support the beneficiaries in creating this and in bringing the research results through piloting funding schemes such as Interreg to the market, also probably with support of cohesion funds.
Thank you. Dirk?
Yes, thank you, Anna. So it's clear for me what came out, like you said, there's quite some work for us to be done in the coming years with the fact that climate, energy and transport was identified as the area where we need a lot of synergies. But I would say on top of that, for me, it's clear there's quite some research projects that still are not deployed and that they don't know the possibilities for deployment. And that's something I see in the years to come as one of my main tasks, to make sure that within the programs that we're managing, that the research world in particular will know that we have other programs like the Innovation Fund I mentioned before that are there to help in deployment. So for me, synergies and deployment of research project is a key issue for the future.
Thank you. I have to close now this session because we have an important interview to take place in the same studio. I would like to thank all of you for your participation and wish to follow up our discussions in the context of the years to come. Thank you very much.